The referees don't manage that line, so players will cross it. The moment Caitlin Clark disclosed her injury status. This injury should serve as a wake-up call to the WNBA Players Association and team owners that Caitlin Clark's fans have been complaining about the egregious officiating. Caitlin has had her fair share of knocks. The WNBA felt that all of this fanfare, interest, and newly discovered attention on the league could vanish in an instant. As ticket prices continued to drop, fans began to leave, and ratings suffered. A severe blow due to the groin injury. The public now knows that star Caitlin Clark will not be playing for the Indiana Fever. But we know what she brings to the table is more than just sibling. Clark is undermining the league's momentum. When the tide rises, all boats jump on it and rise. And fans are done. They're boycotting games, canceling plans, and making it clear that they have no interest in Caitlin Clark. If you're a 100% supporter of Caitlin Clark, please leave a comment below and let the world know. The league obviously doesn't understand that she is unique. Who is this? Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's star player, the revolution in women's sports, and the most popular woman in the league's history. Her most recent update wasn't just another injury report. It was a breakthrough. "I feel good," she said. "But I'm going to be living day to day from now on." That may seem hopeful on the surface, but to fans who are paying attention, it's a warning sign. Caitlin Clark suffered 2 separate injuries in her quadriceps, but they were likely caused by a causal relationship. This isn't just about missing a game or two. It's about an elite athlete overcoming back-to-back injuries after suffering a quad strain and then a groin injury. Caitlin Clark was once again sidelined while carrying the burden of an entire league. She entered the league last year without taking any breaks between a college and professional game. And she acknowledged it herself. "I don't know if I'll be 100% for the rest of the season." That wasn't a casual remark. "I'm just curious if she's CM." Beginning to wonder if Caitlin Clark is having confidence issues because she's playing through a little more pain than she should. It was an honest moment from a player who's obviously managing, not healing, and reports indicate that she played recent games with both her thigh and groin heavily taped. During the Connecticut Sun game, multiple insiders reported that she had her quad taped up. Confirmed that she was experiencing pain during the Sun and Liberty games. She then had an MRI and was diagnosed with a strain. Some believe she made it worse by being substituted back in during a blowout, which shouldn't have happened at all. Even WNBA legends like Sue Bird are worried about this. Bird noted how Caitlin's forced to create almost all her shots alone. No backup playmaker, no respite, just constant pressure. And that's not sustainable, especially when she's playing a lot of games on a limited schedule. This season, Caitlin Clark is also subjected to physical and verbal abuse from envious WNBA players, as well as constant full-court defenses and free-for-all play. Caitlin Clark has been overworked and underprotected since day one, and now the cracks are showing. However, rather than allowing her to recover, the system appears to be designed to take everything out of her as fast as possible. Officiating. And you have a recipe for exactly what's happening now. Injury after injury and still no protection from the league that she's put on every night to perform at the level that she does. Okay. And it's really cruel. The Commissioner's Cup All-Star promos, Nike deals, national broadcasts, and the league's exploitation of her momentum are all happening at the expense of Clark, who isn't just hurt. She's exhausted, and her teammates think it made her the first rookie to score at least 25 points. Caitlin Clark had 5 assists and 5 rebounds in a playoff game. And the WNBA has yet to take any action. This is concerning because it's not just about one player's injury anymore. It's about the league's future depending on a player who is struggling. Can the WNBA continue to exist while CC or Caitlin Clark is out? Clark was the WNBA's Rookie of the Year. She was selected for the first team of the WNBA last season and is now averaging 19 points in a league that leads by 9.3 assists in 4 games this season. When it was announced that Caitlin Clark would miss games because of an injury, The supporters' response was not one of bewilderment or disappointment, but rather rejection. And a mass exodus started almost immediately and as soon as it was revealed that Caitlin Clark would not be playing in Thursday night's game against the LA Sparkles. Ticket prices in Dallas began to plummet. The uncertainty alone caused ticket prices in Chicago, where Clark was also ruled out, to drop by 40%. With the average ticket selling for about $200 per ticket, prices were circulating. And some people were giving them away for free. Others were trading them in for barely used merchandise. And I heard that some of the tickets were being traded for Vietnamese dongs. One reseller told his followers on social media that the sellouts that would have occurred if Caitlin Clark had been in the lineup were no longer going to be sellouts. Media outlets declared, "I'm done. I'm not going if she's not playing, period." The weekend plans fell apart, and hotels and bars close to stadiums started to announce cancellations. One venue manager in Indianapolis even claimed that they had lost the excitement that usually accompanied a Fever game because the road show had been canceled without Caitlin Clark. On platforms like YouTube and Twitter X, thousands of viewers shared the same sentiment. "I'll be back when Caitlin's back." This is not a one-time complaint. Rather, it's a boycott that is clearly coordinated. And the road show is officially over. There is no event, no spotlight, just a league rushing to fill seats again. As one commenter stated, the WNBA wants Caitlin's value but doesn't value her. A rising tide lifts all boats, so you jump on that boat and use them to elevate your play. You can see it in the numbers games that once hit 2. Withdrawal from a league that many believe has not only mistreated Clark but also taken her for granted. 7. Clark's million viewers are suddenly having trouble surpassing 1. When she's not there, let's look at these 2 games. CBS Chicago Sky, NBA TV Washington Mystics versus Atlanta Dream NBA. TV 591,000. When they play each other in the NBA playoffs. That's not a decline, but a collapse of 50% loss in ratings in a short period of time. Of days. These 2, I believe the number 7 will be circling the number 1. Number 1 is 25. 5% drop-off is what occurs when a house is built on a single pillar and that pillar is damaged. To make matters worse, insiders now think this is simply the first. Clark's daily situation is uncertain. And if she misses the Commissioner's Cup in the All-Star game, the viewership figures could drop even more. Networks are already concerned, and sponsors are speculating as to why. As Clark is the economy, one analyst recently disclosed that she drives more than 26.5% of the whole NBA financial activities. Ticket sales, merchandise sales, TV deals, and her presence transforms everything. Caitlin Clark was in charge of 26. There is no precedent for the 5 WNBA economic activities from the previous season, including money from broadcast, ticket sales, and merchandising. She is not only the WNBA's face, she is its Sivan, a reputable financial expert predicted that if Clark continues to grow through the upcoming season, her economic impact could surpass $1 billion. According to Brewer's analysis, Clark simply keeps up her current momentum through an expanded 2025 season. Her impact on the WNBA's economy could reach $875 million. Brewer thinks that number could surpass $1 billion due to Maud's growth and ongoing fan interest, but that billion-dollar asset has endured cruel fouls, non-calls, and injuries. And the league ignores it and continues to schedule her in every national broadcast. What the WNBA overlooked was that Caitlin Clark sells more than just tickets. Fans have faith that the young white girl will show up and elevate the game, giving them a reason to care. Therefore, when she gets hurt, the league acts as though it's not a big deal and no one is protecting her, making her health seem like an afterthought. I'm not sure if she's dealing with this on a daily basis right now. Resellers are pulling out, broadcasters are already modifying coverage plans. Cities are reevaluating how much to spend on future fever matchups, and fans are the ones who were attending record-breaking games. This number of injuries means that if that preseason game isn't in Iowa, fans take that personally, and when they feel disrespected, they walk. They walk. Numbers are now ignoring all of this, which was not caused by a single injury, but rather by the way the league handled it with tact, silence, and a total lack of urgency. The fans' message is very clear. No Caitlin, no ticket, no viewership. No Caitlin, no WNBA. Indicating that you must protect your star at all costs. When Caitlin Clark first entered the WNBA, she not only brought fans, but also hope, a future, and attention to a league that had been in obscurity for decades. All of a sudden, everyone was paying attention. But the WNBA's leadership chose to use her, overexpose her, and tried to act as though she was a generational star instead of protecting her as usual. The blame begins at the top with Commissioner Cathy Engelberg. She is the best. Even Ronaldo and LeBron have moved around. Under her leadership, the WNBA gained its first real superstar with widespread appeal. But what has she done with it? She talks about expanding the league and improving the women's game. But instead of easing Clark into the professional pace, Cathy Engelbert leaned all the way in, making Caitlin the face. Every move has screamed exploitation, including national TV game after national TV game. A relentless travel schedule with back-to-back matches with little rest. And now we're witnessing the result. The league's most valuable player is physically broken, and no one in charge seems to care. Whether it's officials permitting excessive contact or scheduling her like a machine. The pattern is obvious. Profit first, player second. Fans have noticed this, and even seasoned commentators are speaking out. Before Caitlin Clark arrived, Debbie Antonelli was the play-by-play voice for women's basketball analysis. Debbie Antonelli, who has been criticizing the league's officiating for more than 25 years, said that Clark has been taking a lot of hits and that, in her opinion, this is truly egregious disrespect for our team at the moment. She even implied that referees are permitting too much because they aren't enforcing boundaries, and that Caitlin has received her fair share of blows. Question about it, but she is also at the top of the scouting report. If you want to win the game, you should limit her abilities. You can take away her vision, be physically close to her when she is off the ball, and do all those things. There is a line, and if the referees don't manage it, players will cross it until it's called out. You guys know you're going to try to get away with as much as you can. At that point, the whistle must blow, and from Indiana's perspective, she's been getting a lot of flack. I believe there has been too much talk about it, and I do believe it needs to be cleaned up. When officials remain silent, players cross the line. And that's exactly what's happening. Caitlin Clark has been the victim of cheap shots, hard fouls, and contact after the whistle all season long, all with no repercussions. This isn't about playing tough defense. Rather, it's about placing a target on one player's back. And the league's inaction has permitted, if not encouraged, it. At one point, protecting your star was the top priority in any successful sports league. Tin was the one selling tickets and merchandise. Take the NBA with LeBron, the NFL with Mahomes, and even WWE, which made it obvious that the moneymaker gets protected. However, in this case, the WNBA allowed Clark to be injured on the court and then overworked off it. And now that she is hurt, Cathy Engelbert has the audacity to keep saying the same things while Clark is in charge of more than 25% of your league's total revenue. Cities are breaking attendance records due to her, and viewership doubles or halves based only on weather she plays. The hypocrisy is astounding, and fans aren't buying it. Instead of addressing the officiating crisis, she's out here talking about not relying too much on one player, Caitlin Clark, who you all already know as the needle mover, is expected to be among the first NBA stars to earn $1 million a year, according to speculations. In 2024, she averaged 16, 5 points and 4 assists per game. She pulled down 5 rebounds, shot 31 and 37% from the floor, 0.8% from 3. Now, if you look at her 2025 preseason, she only played 2 games, one of which was against the Brazilian national team. She averaged 14 minutes per game and played 21 minutes. She shot 52 with 5 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds, 50% from three-point range and 5% from the field. Not only are they upset that their favorite player is hurt, but they also feel deceived because for months the league portrayed Clark as its savior. She was the focus of the All-Star campaign, the Commissioner's Cup, the merchandise sales, and the media circuit. But when she was hurt, when she needed help, the silence was deafening. No accountability, and no plan to address the situation. Fans want answers, action, and most importantly, accountability. So independent voices online, YouTubers, podcasters, and grassroots analysts have stepped in to tell the truth because the media only provided evasive updates and PR jargon. Few dared to question the narrative for fear of upsetting the league. Kat Daniel has been complaining. But they won't listen. They're not abandoning Caitlin. Rather, they're abandoning a league that didn't defend her. Executives who treated her more like a marketing machine than a 22-year-old human being bearing the weight of an entire sport. And officials who turned a blind eye as she was knocked to the ground game after game. We've never seen anything like that before. So we're curious as to why fans are boycotting, why ticket prices are plummeting, why TV partners are anxious, and why sponsors are hesitating. Without a doubt, Caitlin Clark is a fantastic story. How much of it is that for you? And is that for this book? She's far more significant to the WNBA than Tiger Woods was to men's golf. The WNBA's greatest moment ever is because it has demonstrated to them that even the biggest star is vulnerable, and that even when you break records, earn millions of dollars, and give your all to the league, when you get hurt, you'll just move on without blinking. However, fans aren't letting that stop them. They're watching and demanding better treatment for all players who deserve it. Not just Caitlin. This could have been the beginning of a new era, but instead, it's turning into a warning of what happens when a league forgets that its future depends on how it treats its best players. They have complained about not being treated like NBA players. And now you are the WNBA, a league that values talent, protects its stars, and stops pretending that this level of mismanagement is acceptable. This league would be on life support without Caitlin Clark, and they're blowing it. Her fans aren't upset because she's hurt. Rather, they're upset because no one shielded her. And now the same league that used her face to sell out arenas is watching those seats empty as soon as she's not there. This isn't just a drop in ratings. It's a crisis. They went above and beyond to watch her play here, which is fantastic news for women's basketball in general. She signed my jersey and I'm so happy that I'm crying. It's the best day ever. The Caitlin Clark effect seems to be even more insane than year one. She was obviously right. She was making the most of it, and everyone agrees that she is the league's face. She has nothing but wonderful things to say about herself as a person. And she is so hospitable and warm that she can talk to anyone in that sense. She is similar to me in that we Midwesterners tend to just it's crazy all around when it comes to Caitlin Clark, because it's obvious that she is much stronger, and that unless things change, it will only get worse. If you think she deserves better, hit that. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. I'm a huge fan of Caitlin Clark. Like the button. Leave a comment and let them know loud and clear that you must defend your stars or risk losing your followers forever.